King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wrestle Talks and Long Talks for reviews on Raw, Smackdown, and NXT. I am your host, Arran, and my trusty co-host, John. How are you, John?
A lot better than I have been.
I bet, mate. I know you've not been well and everything else, and you're just like literally back at work. But obviously, this will be our first time doing this together. So we're going to talk about Friday Night Smackdown, Monday Night Raw, and NXT, and probably cover a bit leading up to Money in the Bank. So Friday Night Smackdown, we'll start with that then. So we'll just do it match by match. So I've got was it Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax versus Naomi, which was in a Money in the Bank qualifier match.
Yeah.
Now, I believe through the match was a very good match, and Naomi came out with a win. But I think personally, this is still going to build with what's going on with Cargill, because what's happened previous weeks leading up to it, and I'm loving the character change for Naomi as well. But I do think, I know that she's qualified in that, but I do think something's going to happen within the Money in the Bank with Jade as well when that comes around on Saturday. What do you think yourself?
Well, I watched the match. It was a very, very good match.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, with the character build that Jade's got going on with Naomi as well, I think that something is definitely going to happen at Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I'm not sure what, but I think there might be a heel turn even more so for somebody else that's also be in the midst of the falling outs as well.
Yes, I would like to see how that progresses further as well. But I've kind of just jumped right into a match, forgetting that actually the show opened with Bianca Belair, but obviously she was interrupted by these two other people like Naomi and Jade Cargill. And obviously it's good to see that like she feels what's going on. And I do, as you say with that, I do feel there's going to be something happening there with Bianca as well. So you want to touch on if you've got your notes with the next match, and then I could feed in from there.
Are you able to give me the matches? Because I've literally just jumped.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Give me a second. Right, so is that? Yeah, actually, it was weird because he's no longer with the company. But you have, so wait a minute. Results, here we go. EST we just covered. We've just covered that. That was that.
I think it was R-Truth versus JC Mateo.
Yes, JC Mateo, yes. And obviously, it made sense given Mateo the win, I think. Obviously, because he's just in there and stuff. I'm still unsure of the name change, but I know WWE does this and everything else. But I do think so sad with what's going on with R-Truth. I think everybody is. But and in fact, yes, obviously John Cena is a heel character, and I did see he put out a tweet about it with like R-Truth in his like his red gear and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I loved about this was because obviously with the heels and the way it looks like there's something going on between Solo and JC, I think. Like it's like he wanted to attack him furthermore, but obviously Solo is like, we can't do that. You don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And then obviously he's not here anymore, but Jimmy coming out to help as well and stuff. Because before the news broke with R-Truth, I thought, all right, this could build towards something with the four of them. But because now what's happened, that build won't go anywhere, if you know what I mean. So what's your thoughts on that one then, John?
Well, I thought the match was it was a good match, but I thought that with everything that's going on, I kind of thought that JC was away to attack, so not Solo, but Jacob,
Yes.
because Jacob and him do not get along, it seems.
No, you could see that, and I could see that what I know they're meant to be the new version of Bloodline again because he's in it. I could see there being frictions there later on. Jacob going on his own somewhere else, if you know what I mean. Jacob going at it alone, because I think he's a great wrestler himself, but I could see that happening.
I've seen talks of Jacob and Naomi being his manager.
Now that would be a good shout because you know what, as much as the character work, and I'm loving the change for Naomi, I think it's been needed as well. But I think
100%.
she's doing what she's doing, I think that could work for them as well. So then we had Montez Ford, obviously, he puts over the tag division and everything else like that. And then because obviously the White Six came back the week before, because obviously we hadn't been on before that, and it made sense them all coming back. And then obviously the Motor City Machine Guns come out. They want their shot at DIY and everything else. Yeah. I think the way that division is heating up and adding the White Six into that mix, there's going to be something different and something bigger. And I could see an area stuff with Wyatt Six, but I could also potentially see, I know I get shot for this, but I could also see, I know he's playing Howdy, but I could also see Bo doing a switch at some point and putting on Bray gear because I know he's done it before and stuff. Yeah. And I could see it happening, but it might be still a little bit too soon and too raw for folk as well. But I still think that might happen at some point.
Yeah.
As I say, I'm loving the way the tag division's going and how they've added Axiom into it as well. And like where that's going on SmackDown just now is just completely different and not what I was expecting. So the next match is Rey Fenix, Javon Evans versus Los Garza with Santos Escobar with them. So Los Garza won the match. So what's your thoughts on the match overall, John?
I thought there was some good spots, but I thought the match could have been a bit better.
And the fact that you add obviously Ethan Page into the mix as well, because he was at commentary and then he was golden as well. I agree with that. There could have been some better spots, but I think what they're doing, what I'm loving with, I'm going to say this a lot through this, what I'm loving with WWE at the moment is how they're absolutely trying to elevate NXT and these guys, and like even if they're not in a match, but have them on commentary and showcase them, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown and stuff. I'm loving what they're... Sorry, bud.
Yeah, WWE, like, they're elevating AAA, even though they've bought the acquisitions for AAA. They're elevating TNA, which is great as well, and they're showcasing what all these companies can do in one major company.
It's mental. It's like I never, and we'll talk about when we get to it, but and because we've mentioned TNA, never in a million years did I actually see happening what's happened there, which we'll cover when it comes to NXT, if you know what I mean. And I'm loving the fact that they've got into a partnership the way they have, but I did not expect what happened in TNA to actually happen and it play out in the way that TNA guys and the NXT guys are actually on the same show fighting together and stuff. I never...
bouncing off each other.
And I think it'll help, as we've just said, help elevate both companies to get better. Yeah. So we then have the Women's US title match, which is Selena Vega versus Alba Fire with Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Thoughts?
It's getting, you know what? You've seen the match about 1,000 times with them two at the moment, and it just seems to be repetitive. I would like to see Selena Vega get a different type of opponent instead of having the same three opponents over and over again.
I agree. I think because obviously, yes, she lost the belt, Chelsea Green lost the belt and everything else, and she's got the other two with them. Obviously, yes, Chelsea Green wasn't in the match, but it was one of her lackeys that were in the match. I think it's going to... that could still progress further to lead to potentially a rematch between Chelsea Green and Vega, but with the other two being involved, but them getting kicked out at ringside to keep it just that. and everything else. All in all, I thought the show itself was good. Obviously, you had Drew McIntyre coming out and speaking, and Priest coming out and doing all that stuff as well. Because obviously they went to war in a steel cage previously and that and everything else. I still think there's something going on with Priest later on because obviously he's not in the Money in the Bank because he lost out because of Jacob Fatu as well. Then we come to now. I was not happy about this, but no, I'm on the wrong match. Sorry, I'm thinking about Raw, but anyway, it's the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match, which is obviously Andrade versus Jacob Fatu versus Carmelo Hayes with The Miz. Now, what I'm enjoying about this is what Miz, yes, he's not fighting much. He's been more, it's like he's going to manage Carmelo and make Carmelo better. And I'm loving the dynamic between the two of them together and how The Miz is trying to help him potentially win matches or whatever. Because I know that's what happened. He tried to distract Fatu and Andrade, and it didn't quite work out the way that The Miz was hoping for, obviously, for Carmelo, because obviously Andrade won the match. But I could see stuff with The Miz and Carmelo going well, but I think there's inevitably the way it happens, it always happens in WWE. There's going to be a turn somewhere between the two of them, and they're going to talk at some point.
Have you noticed? Well, Miz has unfollowed WWE and took WWE.
Yes, I've seen everything on Twitter, so I'm just wondering what the situation there is.
This is maybe them petitioning to try and get Truth back into WWE.
Could well be, but to close the show, I'll let you take this away to close the SmackDown show.
Is that the Money in the Bank qualifier?
No. It was Mr. Rhodes returning.
Oh, I thought, you know what? Saturday night's main event when he come out and helped Jay, and I just thought the way he come back was just unexpected. But I think they should have kept that for Money in the Bank.
I agree, but I also know why he did it then, because obviously if you look at what happened at Saturday night main event, how Cena was trying to help Logan Paul and everything else, right, to win the belt and ruin wrestling. They're going on about him ruin wrestling, and then him to come out and help him, and then they say we'll have this Money in the Bank, and I'm thinking, oh, that's that. In my head, I thought that's going to be an interesting match and stuff. And
it's going to be an interesting match, but did you notice when Cena was talking, Logan started pushing Cena?
Yes, I did notice that. Like when they were doing the promo for the build-up match, and it's like Logan wanted to go and actually attack, but Cena's like, no, because the way Cena's new character is, he walks up to a fight, and then like Logan pushes him, and then because they then attacked him, they both went at it, and I thought, oh, so that dynamic of them two being a tag team, which we'll talk about because we will talk about a little bit. We'll not go too much in depth about Money, but we'll talk about that after we've covered NXT. It's just, I didn't see that happening, but I've got a feeling something else is coming for Money in the Bank as well. Obviously, they went on backwards and forwards, did that, and everything else, and then that, I think that more or less covers all the SmackDown. Overall, what did you think of the show along with all the matches and all the different segments in it? Did you think it flowed, or would there be anything that you would change, or do you think it flowed?
I would change the qualifier for the men's. I would change a different winner for the Carmelo match.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Just because I think we should start giving the younger guys, the upcoming guys, a chance as well.
Yeah, no, I get that, bud. Right. Yeah, it was the 2nd of June. Jesus Christ. So we go on to Monday Night Raw. Now, do you want to start, or do you want me to? I don't mind. It's up to you.
No, the show opener was Punk coming out and just having a few words, and then
He comes out
Sammy.
and he goes on about cashing the contract twice. Punk plans on doing it again. The crowd cheers. Punk, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He plans to win
It
Money in
is-
the Bank. Jey Uso's his friend,
Yeah.
but that Punk could choose to challenge Cena, and then that would be personal. Cena soul to soul, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Does Sami Zayn not then come out and interrupt, and then we get a "We Want Truth" chant,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it just
we get,
shows
we
you
get
what's going on. The fact that,
Yeah.
as we've already elaborated with the SmackDown stuff, it's the fact that everybody has saw this happening, including the fans.
Yeah.
And Sammy goes on about him and Punk having like this sort of similar ambition.
Did you notice? Did you notice when Sammy was entering the stage, well, the arena?
Yeah,
Punk started doing whoa.
yeah. And know what? I see what I'm loving Punk, right? Because he's so, you know what? As much as folk said, "Oh, you're not doing it this, he's a bad worker and everything else," when he came back, it's just he's so good at doing
Getting over
stuff that like in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that opened. I think, you know what, that build up and that thing was great. And then we get the next, after that segment, we go on to the women's triple threat qualifying match, which was Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vega versus Ivy Nile. To get away.
I said before the match even started, I was like, she's pulling double duty. Stephanie McCool, absolutely incredible. They should have had Booker come into commentary for that one match so he could do his little jingle that he does when she does her move.
Yeah, I agree. It's like when I'd seen it, I'm thinking, yes, definitely. And it makes sense, the fact that she's just came on to Raw, so it makes sense letting her win that match to go on to be in the Money in the Bank at the weekend.
Absolutely.
And I think overall, with the both of them, with the three of them, sorry, it was a really, really good match. And it was a hell of a fucking debut for Stephanie Vega. Like, I know we've seen her in NXT, but to like what we spoke about for the SmackDown, elevating folk and elevating talent. Just to think the fact that she signed and then she goes on and does a match with the other two women who are great in their own right as well. But the fact to see her get over and get the win as well, I just thought it was absolutely brilliant, if that makes sense.
Yes. And pulling double duty because she's got that tag match as well on Worlds Collide as well.
Yeah, Worlds Collide, which it's frightening me, the fact that I even forgot about Worlds Collide, if you know what I mean. So, right, next match would have been the War Raiders versus Judgment Day.
It was okay. It wasn't the greatest match. There was a couple of spots that there was botches, but it wasn't a spectacular match. I mean, you had the interference of Roxanne Perez, which I'm loving the fact that she's come over from NXT. She's getting to be involved with this big massive storyline with Liv, Raquel, and the tag match was okay. We'd have changed a few bits, but yeah, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, mate, I agree. What I loved and forgot to comment on was the fact that Michael Cole did him and Pat McAfee had the bet, and how because the other team won, he had to wear the tank top, and the fact he was wearing that the whole match. But what I loved, and I thought it was funny as anything, man. Like, obviously the fact that the New Day were at ringside, and they go over, and was it not Kofi's on his chair? Or no, or Xavier, one of I can't remember which one, but they fall backwards. And
I was Kobe.
And he falls backwards on his chair, and then it's just Michael Cole being Michael Cole, because he mate, I love him in commentary now because he's his true natural self. And him laughing away with Pat McAfee about it. And then the fact that eventually after that, they two then get tossed out in a way and stuff. I thought it was the match in itself wasn't great, the spots weren't great, but to have that, as much as they're heels, the New Day, have that comedy value with him falling off his chair, I thought was absolutely
Yeah. I mean, Michael Cole. I mean, he's doing the yeet, he's doing the handshakes with Jay,
Yeah,
and the way McAfee and him are together is like it's like looking at Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross all
yeah.
over
And the thing
again.
is, mate, I think the fact that he's getting to, yes, he's still head of commentary and whatever else. Yes, he'll still have Triple H in his ear at times, giving him stuff. But the
Yeah,
fact that the way on all three brands, the fact how the commentators are getting to be their actual selves.
yeah,
Yes,
he's
when
getting
there's spots that they need to mention, they'll get that, but they're left to run with it. Yes, they'll maybe have the script there, but they don't always lead to the script. And it's like just the interactions you see, McAfee and Cole. I think that's a partnership made in heaven. And
oh,
obviously,
definitely.
before we go on to the next match, we get obviously the segment with Lyra Valkyria and obviously Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
Um, thoughts?
it's like the US title over in SmackDown. It's getting a bit stale.
Yes. It
Yeah,
reminds me because when she went over onto NXT, Becky had the title and then dropped it to give it to Lyra. I thought,
yeah,
great, brilliant, nice way to pass the torch. Obviously, then Lyra comes back. They both get the belts right at Mania. Now, I didn't. To me, I did not understand any of it whatsoever. What the way they've gone. Yes, she's gone down the heel route. I thought what was going to happen because obviously it's Seth's new faction. She was
yeah.
going to be part of that. It still could come. It still could come. Um, but I just think let should just let them have a little bit of a fight. I know
Yeah.
what's coming on at the weekend, but this like they've got the head up vent, and Stephanie does have that head up vent because of what Becky's done to her.
Yeah.
Stephanie fucking Lyra, sorry, has got that head up stuff, and it would make more sense. But it's like when I noticed it when Valkyria spoke, like I was like doing like when Austin was there, what, and not letting her get a chance to see
Yeah.
what she felt and stuff. So other than that, I think when they fight at the weekend, I do think that's going to be an awesome match, though. I really do.
Oh, absolutely. The spot's going to be incredible.
And then you get where am I? Where am I? From the page because I have notes here. We have Jey Uso and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Right. That entrance with Jay and Sammy was absolutely fire.
Yeah,
Sammy dancing, putting on the Yeet glasses, coming down with Jay, I thought it was incredible.
and that's what I love the fact that the way they've someone that started small with JD and it's because the fans have got on it and it's gotten so big and everything else, and the fact that yes they were tagging together, yes they were together before when they were in the bloodline and everything else.
Yeah.
See, as you say, putting on the glasses, going down, getting all involved, doing all the dancing. I thought it was great, but I did not expect them to win.
No, I didn't
I
expect him
did
to
not
win
because obviously of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed now being in with Seth Rollins. Yes, he wasn't there, but now being established together in his new faction, I thought, right, okay, yeah, Sammy and Jay know each other. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have only been together a couple of weeks, so I thought, oh, they might have
it. Yeah,
given
but
them the win, if you know what I mean.
did their paths not cross in NXT? So,
They did. Like, yeah, Seth wasn't there. He did appear, if you know what I
yeah.
mean. He did. He
Yeah.
did. He wasn't there to start with, but he did appear.
Yeah.
And obviously he gives like yes, he didn't win properly because he stomped Jay, so technically it's like a disqualification, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the stuff after as well, like after the match on the table and that, I thought that was good. I could see where Seth's faction, I could see this leading to a feud with them two and them getting someone else, whether it be Jimmy coming over and that. I could see this because Seth's been there and involved. I could see this with it potentially continuing with someone else for Sammy
Well,
and Jay.
but yeah. Sammy and Jay could bring in somebody, and then I think when once they've got somebody, I think they'll do like a 6 man, and I think Hayward will have another plan up his sleeve and have another member waiting in the wind.
That does not surprise me, right? And then we get Kairi Sane versus Raquel Rodriguez with Liv Morgan at ringside.
Do you know what? I'm actually liking Kairi Sane since she's been back.
Yeah,
The match was decent. A couple of interferences from the outside, but yeah, the match was good. The winner was correct as well. So
yeah. I think Kairi did deserve to get the win. And the stuff from outside, there was fact that Kairi had help as well, which I thought was great. And it's still good to see that even though like the tag champs that I think were there with Kairi and Io, they could have a run potential take the belts off of Liv
yeah,
and Raquel. But all in all,
100%.
I agree. I think it was a very, very good match. And then this is the match I'm pissed off with. I really am pissed off with this. But anyway, we had the men's Money in the Bank qualifier.
Yeah, I know why you're. I know why you're
Yes, you
pissed.
know exactly why I'm pissed off. But I'll let you go, right? I'll let you go. It's AJ Styles versus Punk versus El Grande Americano.
Which I don't know if you noticed, but they've actually mucked up because if you look at his boots, it was
Yes, I
Chad
had
Gable
CG,
with the
and then
boots.
he's then put on Twitter saying, I let him borrow my boots.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
that's
don't
not
think
why I'm pissed off.
no, but I don't think El Grande Americano should have won that match.
I don't either. And the fact the way what pissed me off with it more was the way it ended. It was a slap to AJ.
Yeah,
Slap to AJ, and he gets a 1, 2, 3. And I'm thinking, what the actual hell have I just witnessed here?
yeah,
You know what I mean? And thinking, yes, I get AJ's happy to put folk over and everything else.
yeah,
But for him to be a veteran to actually get that, and I'm like, wait, what? I have a feeling something is going to happen in the Money in the Bank with him and Mr. Not with AJ, but with Mr. Americano.
I think what's going to happen is I think the match that he's in uh, um, Worlds Collide.
Uh-huh.
I think they're going to put an injury, put a story over for him being injured, and then Chad Gable comes out and takes that spot.
Fair enough. No, I don't think. No, I don't think so. So overall, what did you think of that show completely?
I thought Raw was it was quite low.
Yeah, compare that's them building towards for the Raw side of things for Money in the Bank on
Yeah,
Saturday evening. So
that's a go home show for Money in the
yeah,
Bank.
that's like yeah, exactly. I thought it was yes, there was interferences and stuff, and you get that it has to
Yeah,
happen for the heels and that, and but some of the stuff I've seen it too many times, and
yeah,
I'm sick of there's nothing up there. I'm sick of seeing it, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
So,
Like there's too many repeated matches happening week in and week out of the same.
so where are we? Oh, leading to NXT now.
Yeah.
So please stop. Give me a second, bud.
No worries.
Right. So NXT on the card, we have a very few matches.
Yeah, there was
Ah,
more. It was more.
go on.
It was more building towards World Collide, basically.
That's exactly what I thought. So, no. Yeah, I was making sure then. Yeah, I was reading the wrong thing. So, yes. I am aware, sure. So you had North American Championship Summit match where Paige complains about having to share the ring with Evans and Ray Phoenix and whatever else.
Laredo Kid.
Hmm?
Laredo Kid's in that match as well.
Yes. I thought it was because the Vanity Project not get interrupted as well,
Yes.
and stuff, and Brawl and whatever else. I think it was a good opener, very quick segment,
Yeah.
there was nothing else we could ask for in that. I don't think because of what it
No.
was. I think
Well,
like that, as you say, is building towards worlds colliding stuff.
yeah. Like that segment, well, that match I am actually looking forward to.
Yeah. So then we have Chase U versus Dark State. Well, mate,
Yeah,
squash
that
match.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Squash. It was so quick and over and done with. There's not much you can really say about it. And I get
No.
they've got other matches that they have to plan for and everything else.
Yeah.
But all in all, I would have liked to have seen it build a little bit more rather than just being over with as
Yeah.
the squash match that it was. I hate these type of matches because you get them for a rounds match. Like,
Yeah, that was much.
I hate these types of matches because, like, we've seen it when they've done it before for like the sort of PPV thing that you get. So it was like what Charlie Dempsey with Ren Sinclair versus Melbourne with Trevino Heights. If obviously Bourne wins, he can actually leave the no catch quarter queue. No quarter catch queue, no queue. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
QQCC, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, yeah, the way it round down to it, obviously Miles Bourne did win, and stuff like that. Go on.
Yeah. The thing that annoyed me, like now it's going back a couple of weeks now, but when Miles won that battle royal match, Charlie was like, "You're not going for the title. I'm going for the title," and I was like, "What? You didn't win the match. Miles did." Okay, yeah, he's built as Randy Orton's unbiological son.
Yes. I know. But this is what I don't like with it. Like with these matches that round, you've got like however many rounds it is, and because we've seen it before when it's Battleground, that's it. NXT Battleground, you have to get to the rings and stuff. We've seen similar matches like that.
Iron Survivor.
Iron Survivor, yeah. So
yeah,
it reminded me just of that a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And also reminded me of the Heritage Cup match as well.
Yeah, and the fact, like, even after that, there was no handshake from him, and Charlie Dempsey felt a bit like okay, whatever, that should now gone. Now, this one, we'll get to that in a minute, but then you've got Tyra May Steele versus Ariana Grace.
It was an alright match, but Ariana Grace isn't a very good wrestler.
Yeah, I agree.
I get her dad is Santino Marella, but
obviously she's in TNA as well, if you know what I mean. So I think because of the relationship they have there, and is Tyra not in TNA as well? Is Tyra NXT?
I think she's signed to NXT, but I think she was one of the first to do the jump over to TNA.
Jump over, right? Okay, yeah. Like I agree what you're saying, but again, it's helping elevate the company on both sides, giving TV time to wrestlers from TNA and NXT, but whether it be on a TNA show or an NXT show, and obviously, Tyra won the match, but like that, I get what you're saying with it that she is Santella's son, but I think it was a solid debut, and obviously Steele showed what you can do going forward, if you know what I mean. So then this is mate. Now this, I know there was speculation and everything else, but obviously you get JCJ comes out because she's a new women's champion for NXT. And then you get like various other different talent because there's so many of them. I'm not even going to go through them, but they all come out and they're all vying for the women's NXT championship. And then you get the spot in the bird's nest, the light spot up in the bird's nest.
Oh yeah.
Mariah May now, obviously, yes, there was rumors of it happening. And I know that's not what we called. I know her name will change because that's been But for her to then get on the mic to say, "I'm officially here," I was like, "Holy shit!" Because I know her contract ended when it ended in AEW, and she ran it down because there was obviously talking of her coming to WWE, but I didn't expect it to be as soon as this, if you know what I mean. And the fact that you see it, and like my mouth when I watched it earlier, I was like, holy fucking shit. I'm happy she's here. I'm just wondering what they're going to do with the name change. And what I know what she's doing in AEW because I've seen her in AEW as well. But this alone with Jordana Grace and the rest of the women, Lash Legend, Jada Parker, to name loads of others, I think even that dynamic and then her coming into it, I think that's just going to elevate that division even more. If you know what I mean.
The division's already elevated, but like you said, it's going to elevate it even more. There's going to be dream matches that there's going to be hundreds of dream matches that's going to happen between Mariah May or whatever she's going to be called, and like you say, Lash Legend, JCJ,
Tia Hale,
Tia Hale,
All of Ice, all those people, man. It's just
I would like, you know what? I would like to see Mariah May versus Sol Ruka.
Mate, I think that would be an awesome match.
Oh, that would be.
And then we go on to Sean Legacy, Dragon Lee, Lario Kid, and Javon Evans versus Ethan Page and the Vanity Project. What a name for a blinking faction, man. You know what I mean? I was like, see, when they came up with it, I was like, okay, fair enough. What do you think?
You know what? Sean Legacy, since he's come up from Evolve, has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And
sorry, carry on, lad.
Whoever wins that North American Championship match at Worlds Collide, whoever it wins it, either Ethan Page, Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, or Dragon Lee, are going to have an absolute banger with Sean Legacy.
And that's why, as you say, that's why I love what they've done, like how they've done the LFG stuff and then Evolve, and to get these guys to come up and do what they're doing, it's just amazing, mate. And it's great to see.
And with the WWE ID project as well, that's giving the independents a chance to get into the program as well.
I think it's brilliant what they've done and how they've opened doors like they never had before. It's great to actually physically see.
You would never get this with a certain.
Yes, I know he should shall not be named.
Yes.
Then we get to the main event of the evening, which is the TNA World Championship. Now, we spoke about it earlier. I never in a million years did I actually think, when I watched TNA a couple of weeks back or a week or so back, never in a million years did I actually think that Trick Williams was going to be our local hero, Joe Henry, for that title. And stuff. You know what? I'm so happy. And again, it's going to help elevate both the companies. But with.
You called him the wrong name. You called him the wrong name.
I know I did.
It's not Trick Williams anymore. It's Trick Willie.
Yeah, I know it's Trick Willie. But anyway, but him versus Santana and Trick keeping the belt, I thought it makes sense. It helps, again, elevate it. But obviously, the shenanigans outside with Top Dog, who isn't actually that. That's what his name was in WWE. It's AJ Francis now.
AJ Francis, yeah. And Casey
and like a Death Valley Driver as well. Honestly, in the match, it's just. I forgot about Navarro. Navarro being there too.
Yeah, Casey Navarro.
Like, the fact that we're getting to see these guys in NXT because they've been on the TNA with that partnership. It's
and
just
to see AJ Francis back on NXT.
Yes.
You never in a million years thought you would ever see that.
You never would, mate. But that's like, well, a lot of stuff that's happened under the Triple H era, and I know he doesn't like it being spoke about or said that. You wouldn't think that. So that's us covered. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Overall, for the NXT show, adding in the stuff with TNA and Mariah May, what do you think?
I thought, you know what? I thought it beats Raw hands down.
Yeah, mate, the thing is, it just shows the fact. I remember way back when, right? And Triple H mentioned this before. The fact that, remember when DX were DX?
Yeah.
right, in their company. And then obviously Triple H went into, he had NXT, right? And then
Yeah.
now he's went over to creative that way. Then you've got Sean doing what he's doing for
Yeah.
NXT. And obviously, I'm sure, is Road Dogg still not there and about as well, doing writing somewhere or whatever, or he's doing something.
He's still part of creative. I think he writes for SmackDown.
SmackDown, or he's a producer. The fact that what they were doing as DX and the fact the three of them are kind of like more or less have parts within the show is just, it's frightening to see how the company's changed. And with under Triple H and Shawn Michaels' directions for both, like NXT and Raw and SmackDown, it's something else. It's like, I never thought in a million years I'd see WWE the way it is. And yes, some of the storylines can take longer, but the fact they're planning so far in advance to get to this next big thing. So we will quickly touch base on what's happening on Saturday, then we'll leave it at that. So we have.
I will say one thing though.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought I would see the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Joe Henry perform at WrestleMania against Randy Orton.
Not near the hell did I, mate. But it was the fact that did Randy Orton not push for that when he didn't have an opponent? It was Randy that pushed to get Joe to fight.
It was Randy that pushed for Joe, and then Michaels had pushed for Joe.
Yeah.
And then Triple H had a little inkling, but then everyone was suspecting Brock Lesnar or whoever
I
else.
think everybody was like, see when the music hit and he got that pop at WrestleMania, and he went to and whatever else. But I still think, yes, he is no longer TNA World Heavyweight Champion, but I think he's going to become an NXT star, not be in NXT for long, and then he'll hit the main roster for either Raw or SmackDown.
And like John Cena says, he'll be a big star in WWE.
Yeah, I think he's going to fight Cena before Cena retires. I do believe that because they've had that discussion. Last thing, and then we'll call it quits, is I don't know much of the matches for Worlds Collide, so I don't want to cover much on that because I'll butcher half it and I don't have much.
I know one match that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, go on then.
The Kingo versus Chad Gable for the AAA Mega Championship.
And I do think that how funny would it be though, right? Because we know who El Granny Americano is, right? We do. There's no denying that what happened on Monday night, right? But how funny would it be if Chad wins, right? And then El Grado fucking, what happens in the Money Bank. That would just be funny as anything. But I just don't see that happening, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But so we have the men's Money in the Bank. I can't even remember who's all in that right now. Jesus Christ.
There's El Grande Americano. There's Solo Sikoa.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
LA Knight. Andrade.
Penta.
I can't remember. But anyway, right, we've got a men's Money in the Bank. And because we've got some high flyers in there, I think we're going to have some higher spots. And there'll be tables involved and stuff as well. Can't call a winner for that right now. I really can't. I can't. I'm not going to do it, mate. No.
I'm pushing for Penta to win, but
because Seth's in there and because he's got a faction, right? I might just go Seth just for the hell of it, right?
Well, see, I would like to see Penta do Smooth Criminal with a briefcase coming down the ramp.
Yeah. Actually, that would be pretty cool. Yeah. And then we have got right. We're going to speak about this match because we kind of have to. And I think this is going to be the main event, which is the Logan Paul and John Cena versus Cody and Jay. Yeet. But mate, that match alone is just going to be, as much as people hate Logan, right? As much as some folk really do, I just think he's honed his craft. Yes, he may be a YouTuber and everything else, but he's honed his craft. He's earned his stripes to be in that ring with guys like these. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be a great match. And I do think something's going to happen in that match. There's going to be involvement somewhere, and it could potentially lead to further down the line with John Cena.
Yeah, I think I honestly think all four men will be down. I think the lights will go out.
Yeah,
You know what can happen. Keen will hit. Travis Scott will come down.
yeah,
Try and do something with Cody. Probably botch it again.
yeah.
And then I think he brings Cena's arm over. Cena covers Cody. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Fair enough. Mate, I do think he's going to be involved in some way, shape, or form, 100%. Because there's further. I think the way that's going to end, as you just said, yeah,
Yeah.
Cena win. But this is going to build further for later on with Travis being added into that, and then Jay and Cody with someone else. That's going to add to that. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Oh, 100%. I
You know
think
what?
so.
I think Lyra's going to retain.
Okay, he thinks Lyra's going to retain. All I think is Becky's going to take it.
The only reason why I say that is because she's had a number for most of the feud.
Yeah, and I think I'm swithering. I don't know, but I could say Becky just because of the heel stuff. But
Yeah.
but I'd love Lyra to retain as well. So
Fun fact for you, though, Aaron. Fun fact for you. I
yeah,
know it's not the matches of that, but this is the first year that Roman Reigns is not on the card.
yes, 100%. And then we have the women's Money in the Bank. I think Alexa Bliss is winning that.
I'm going. I'm. I don't know. Like you've got Alexa. Alexa is like the favourite,
Yeah,
but I think there might be an upset. I think one of the underdogs might get it.
I think it will be potentially, but I also think there'll be involvement from others too. You know what I mean? I do think that'll be a good show, but I think because obviously, yes, we've got SmackDown come on Friday. I do think there'll be another couple of matches added, like
Oh
another
yeah.
match or two added to it. I just don't know what they'll be yet. But so I think that's us more or less covered everything, including Worlds Collide. So we will meet again next Tuesday, Wednesday, and because obviously Money in the Bank's happened, so we could cover Money in the Bank, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, and NXT.
What I'll do is I'm going to buy a notepad and pen,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to keep like the matches that I'm going to record the matches and write them down. So I've got like a little bit of a note.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I did, but I wrote stuff down, wrote the winners, and then remembered bits of the match. Like that's what I said to Craig. The Trick Williams match, I hadn't actually physically seen properly. I seen bits of it from YouTube and stuff, but
Yeah.
all alone, that was a great match. So I thank you for joining me on our very first Raw, SmackDown, and NXT review, and I will see you next Wednesday evening.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll message you before. I'll message you when I'm finished work,
Yeah.
and then I'll message you when I'm on the bus and let you know that.
Well, I could do, mate, because that's fine. I'll get everything set up for it. But thank you again for coming on, buddy. And
no problem.
short notes and stuff. But thank you for everyone when they see us back for joining us, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Peace.
Peace.
Stop.